A Cook County judge was arrested for human trafficking. Can you believe it? And where else but Florida? It's always Florida that has the weirdest types of cases. But here we are, reporting another wild story to you, my beautiful viewers, my fellow lunatics. You know who it is, Rational Lunatic. And before we get started, please hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that little thing into oblivion because you do not want to miss my stories. I am the one who looks up and finds the juiciest news on corrupt officials. And I will always be here, whether you like it or not. So you might as well just like it. Sounds about right, right? Alright. Real quick, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And this story isn't as recent as my other ones. This one was reported in 2022, but this judge with 100 other people was charged and convicted for sex trafficking, which to me is, excuse me, human trafficking, which to me is crazy. It's not a very long story, but bear with me, it's definitely worth hearing about, talking about, exposing. So let's get into this one, shall we? This story comes from ABC 7 News, read to you by yours truly, Rational Lunatic. And here we go. Retired Cook County judge among over 100 arrested in Florida for human trafficking sting. Polk County, Florida. What did I say earlier? Did I say Cook? Oh, it says Cook County, and then down in the actual story it says Polk County, Polk. So this writer either got it wrong or there was a sting that involved two counties. I'll leave it at that. But let's continue. So Polk County, Florida. WLS, a retired Cook County judge, was among over 100 people arrested in a human trafficking investigation in Florida. Daniel Peters, 66, of Palos Hills, was charged with soliciting a prostitute. Polk County Sheriff Grady Jude said Peters told authorities he was a retired judge in the Cook County 4th Sub Circuit and a special assistant for legal affairs at the Cook County Sheriff's Office in Illinois. Look at that. We went from Florida to Illinois. Isn't that crazy? Oh, real quick, I forgot to mention it. If this video goes past 10 minutes, please, if you're on TikTok, jump over to YouTube, like and subscribe there, catch the full videos. TikTok only gives me 10 minutes, but I post every single video on TikTok, Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube, so you can get the full video on YouTube. I apologize, I meant to say that a minute ago. I lost track. You know, I got off my own little ADHD bipolar headspace, and that's what happens. But let's continue. Peters was arrested during a 6-day undercover human trafficking operation conducted by the Polk County Sheriff's Office. The Cook County Sheriff's Office said Peters is no longer on the bench or in county government. Okay, I understand now. So he worked for Cook County, but Polk County did the investigation and caught him in the sting. That makes sense. That's why it says, Cook County judge, arrested in Polk County, or busted in Sting by Polk County. So I hope that cleared that up for you guys as much as it cleared it up for me. I was curious. I don't usually read the complete story. I just kind of read the headline a lot of times, and if it sounds juicy enough, I go with it. According to the Polk County officials, detectives identified prostitutes who posted online advertisements, as well as the quote Johns communicating with them online with quote the intent to identify and free any victims who were being forced into prostitution or anyone participating in the trafficking of victims. And that's something I don't think people understand. I'm from California, but I live in Reno, Nevada, right? So there's places where there's actual legal prostitution. You know, they're in like apartment units, you know what I mean? But there's also other places in the United States where prostitution is legal, where they do, they check their age, they have, they do it for themselves, they get tested, but in a lot of cases, there's just a lot of women, especially underage women, who are forced into prostitution, and that's human trafficking. So it's human trafficking is forced prostitution, and a lot of times, a lot of dudes don't know the difference because they meet a woman who's just selling herself, and she doesn't let him know that, hey, I'm being forced to do this. Can you get me out of here? And a lot of times, the women themselves don't know what to do. They've been groomed into thinking that it was their decision, or they like it, until a lot of them finally get out of it and realize what actually happened, and realize the difference between a man who wants them and a man who really appreciates and really wants them and really loves them and really just wants to take care of them. um, and it just sucks because, at least, it hit home. Excuse me. Let me rephrase it. It hits home for me real hard because I've been in that situation. Not as a John. I've just fallen for a woman who has been trafficked, and had to really show her the difference, um, in a man that's just, giving you attention because he just wants to, do something, and in a real man who actually has real feelings and just wants to take care of you. Um, for all you women out there, if you are being trafficked, if you are doing something against your will, or if you were talked into doing something and you think it's your decision, but if you think back and you were talked into doing something that you didn't originally want to do, it's time to leave. Run. In most cases, they won't chase you, especially in the US. It's not that hard to get away. All you have to do is wait a little bit, be observant, look for your opening, and book it. Run away. You can get away, you can do better, and there are men out there that will love, cherish, and take care of you. There really are. And they're not all old ass rich creeps. You can do better. Just run. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? Run to your nearest police station, fire station house. Just get out of there. Get on the nearest Greyhound and just bounce. They're not going to go across cities and states to find you. You know what I mean? Unless you contact them. If you're able to get away, in most cases, you can stay away. Trust me. But let's continue with this story. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. It really gurks my Birkin when I hear about these cases. But here we go. Investigators said they also identified and investigated adults who engaged in online sexually charged conversations with those they believed to be children, netting 4 arrests. Undercover detectives communicated online with the suspects and arranged for a meetup at a at a location where they were arrested after their arrival. See, that's the problem with having severe ADHD and bipolar disorder. Is even though I was reading, I was still stuck in my head about what I was talking about a second ago, because it really does bother me. Sheriff Judd said the oldest person arrested was 67 years old, Derek Collins, who showed up to the residence drinking Ensure. Come on. Really? This was like a 67-year-old man showed up to a sting house drinking Ensure. Not popping Viagra and having a couple shots and getting ready to do whatever he thinks he's about to do. He showed up drinking Ensure because he must have had a bellyache and needed to really get his vitamins up and protein intake so he can handle business as a 67-year-old man trying to mess with a prostitute or a child. Ridiculous, man. Anywho, showed up to the residence drinking Ensure. The youngest was a 17-year-old male. Both were arrested for soliciting for a prostitute. And that's what it is. This thing wasn't just to get guys soliciting prostitutes. They were trying to get guys who were soliciting females or women or children who had been trafficked. 2 different things. You know, I think if you want to sell your body, honestly, do what you want to do with your body. If you want to pay for someone selling their body, and you want to take that risk, kind of like diving into the shallow end of a pool with no lifeguard on duty. You're diving in at your own risk. I hope you know how to swim, especially if you crack your head. But if you are out there on hitting up a block or trying to order someone who, where it seems kind of fishy, like that person may be doing it against their will, then yeah, you deserve to be taken down. And that's what it sounds like the sting was doing in this occasion. They were doing a sting, and they happened to catch a judge in that sting. Well, kudos to you, sir. Hope you enjoy your time in jail. I hope you get what's coming to you. Pretty sure they don't sell Ensure in the jail cell. So, maybe drink some toothpaste. I'm sure you can get some vitamins out of that somehow. Whatever. I know I'm talking nonsense. But, hey, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. Seriously, from the bottom, the deep, the depths, the pits of my heart, I'm so glad you're still here. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in the next one. And until the next time, stay wild.